Vanni, what happened there this evening? The Sounders really made your team play, not the best overall game from the Whitecaps.
Well, it happened that we didn't have any energy. So, yeah, we struggled since from the start. We weren't able to cover the distance like normally we do. We were always a little half late. We had probably, and then we tried, to be honest. We had some chances the first half to score, even the second half on the 1-0 when they saved the ball on the line, but there was never the impression that we were doing, we were intense enough. And I think the numerous amount of games that we played caught up with us, and we hit a wall mentally when we conceded the second goal and it was over, and because we did a lot of, I would say, silly mistakes. And yeah, that is, I think it has to be a very good wake up for the end of the season. And again, don't think that we have to put the blame or a lot of criticism on the player today. It's more probably on me and us that we didn't choose the right way to play, not because of the game, not because of the Sounders or whatever, because the right way to play, understanding, and the right players to play, understanding the condition of the players, because some of them, they were probably extremely tired from the last 2 weeks. And and that caught up with us, and we made the first goal is a set play, okay, but we completely lost Morris, and it was a mistake. The second goal, we actually defend. I don't know why Ranko. Sebastian has the ball, he loses the ball, and then Ranko made something that he never do, like that mistake of career. So it means that the players were really probably tired, and in hindsight, we should have done different choices mostly I would say in terms probably of structure, and that it was it's a pity, and we apologize. We had our fan. I apologize because losing 3-0 against our biggest rival is bad, and but on the, if you want to be optimistic for the future, it's a good wake-up call, and tell us that, okay, we have this last game against Minnesota where we have to push, and then finally we'll have a game per week that is going to be, I would say, extremely important for us.
Coach, your team looked tired. You have another game on Saturday. You're missing 3 big-name players. How do you dig out of that kind of lull with energy and get the guys rejuvenated for that game on Saturday?
We'll have to choose the player with more energy, and we'll have to choose a way of playing that is less demanding than the way that we usually do. That is very demanding, and so that's not too much time to prepare, because tomorrow, of course, is going to be recovery, and then Friday is going to be a very low intensity training. But we need, hopefully, to recover some players like Ali and Goldie. Hopefully they're there, but if not, the guys that are here, we need to go again and be better than today. So I know that it sounds very, I would say, easy to say, but that's what we need to do.
Coach, as you mentioned, the team was lacking a lot of energy and intensity today, but I wanted to ask about the call on substitutions and bringing on 3 players after the second goal went in and late in the second half. What was the thought behind there, given that you...
The thought was 2 things. There were some players that I saw in trouble physically during the game, that they weren't able to do what they're doing every game. Andres was one. I was actually thinking about taking him off at the end of the first half, because he wasn't able to cover the ground like he normally does. We wanted to spare Brian a little at the end, because he was destroyed the second half. He couldn't do anywhere. So yeah, that was the thought process when we considered the second goal, was more to, you know, try to put fresh legs and try to, let's see if something miraculous happen, and instead of getting and putting a system very simple like a 4-4-2, where, you know, there's less for me probability to be I would say kind of creative offensively, or to move a lot, but it's the players are staying there, so there's a back four and four midfielders, so it was like a little bit more cover. So that was the thought.
But obviously, hindsight is 2020. But would you have wanted to maybe have done the substitutions earlier, like you mentioned with Andres? Maybe you didn't think about it halftime
No.
before the game would have
I
gone
know.
away.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think that in hindsight, again, this game was so important because every game is so important, that we try to rely on guys that are doing really well, but maybe they needed a day off today. And again, as you said, hindsight is 2020, and I think again it's on us because we didn't make the right choice. It's on me, not us. Let's say me, my fault. Didn't make the right choice again, especially in terms of system. Yesterday the training didn't go well. That's the reason why we went through a 3-5-2. I thought we were going to have like a little bit more, having both pressure and being covered. Unfortunately, we could never. The only two guys that put pressure in the first half were Fafa and Brian. They were doing very well, but the midfielders were always late, and then you could tell that we were tired because we were doing a lot of bad choices, like going man to man, guessing. It was like not good to see. That being said, we could score 4 times, and that's the thing that But at the end, I think it's better to have lost like this. So we really know that we have to reset and go.
And then I guess looking ahead, you mentioned Minnesota. You got to push through. How do you sort of get that from the team mentally, especially after a loss like this? How do you kind of do, especially with the quick
we need
turnaround?
to be honest with each other and say that today was not even acceptable, I would say, and again we need to look at each other and telling them that we know after Minnesota we'll have a couple of days off, and we finally have 8 days to prepare the next game. So we need to push till the end. But again, it is, every player wants to play every time. Every player is gonna say, yes, I'm ready to go. I need to be better in choosing the best 11 next time.
Talking about systems, when Ryan's not on the pitch,
Yeah.
the creativity, it's noticeable, the difference, as it's always going to be. You don't have much time, though, to work on new systems to try and get something going. Whether he goes on Saturday or not, you're definitely going to miss him for the LAFC game. Do you need to try and have a different kind of system when?
Well, we did. Like when Ryan doesn't play, we cannot play with the number 10. So we never play with the number 10 when Ryan doesn't play, because there's no one that can play in that position. The only one could be probably Stuart, but he's still not ready to play. So yeah, that's the reason why we're playing with 2 strikers. Like we did several times when Ryan is not there, because that's what we need to. That's the way that we always went, and the way that we had some success even without Ryan playing sometimes. The problem for me today was more defensively than offensively, because again, when we have the ball, even though we weren't playing so fluid like we were, and for me there was a lot of problem because we didn't move too much, but there was so much space and Brian actually the first half was really good, that he was laying off a lot, that we were arriving on the box all the time. The big problem was when they had the ball, because we were always late. So that's was the big problem.
You're going to miss now Fafa Pico on Saturday. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Unfortunately, was too generous in that thing, and we cannot say anything because rules I don't know the first one if it's a yellow card, to be honest, but the second one is a yellow card. So that we have to be. The first one maybe is not, but yeah, it is what it is. Like again, we will need to see who's going to be ready, and of course, missing Fafa is going to be a miss because he's an important player for us, but. We have some other guys that can come in, and we saw like the young guys. I want to say that they put the energy at least, like when they came on, Ralph, Eddie, Levante, even a little bit chaotic sometimes, but there was a lot of energy at least, and that's what I asked for them when they came on, and that's what we need to recover first, the energy to be able to go at Minnesota and try to win this game.
I know a lot of tonight and even Saturday can be put down to the tiredness, the games, the emotion, but it's more points dropped at home.
Yeah. I think Saturday, to be honest, guys, Saturday it was not a bad game in my opinion. Saturday we just tried to win. We had a lot of chances at the end. We didn't score. So Saturday, what can you say to the team? In my opinion, we did well. We considered the goal with an own goal, and all the metrics said that we did a good game. Today, we cannot say anything. Today was like very bad, and home or away, at this point of the season I don't want to be misunderstood, but who cares? We need just to win. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like it's so we need to beat Minnesota. Luckily, Portland lost. Minnesota didn't win, so we're still 7. So if we beat Minnesota, we are basically in the top 7, and we need to see that as an energy to go there. Yeah.
What I was going to ask though was, do you maybe need to change some things for the home games, like maybe train here the day before a home game?
No, I don't think so. I think the problem, Michael, is that it's 3 weeks that we don't train. We haven't trained for 3 weeks, so we can train. We can train wherever we want. We haven't trained for 3 weeks because we played every time, Saturday, Wednesday, and a lot of teams they didn't, like because when we played Toronto and nobody played, and we did, so we couldn't recover. And having a full week there, we only us, Kansas City and Los Angeles played. So that's the thing, and that caught us. So that's again, we did very well so far. Today, again, it's better to have this bad performance, a bad energy, and everything now. That is, we can put remedy on it. Then on a playoff game. So that's this. So I'm trying to be positive. That's the thing.
Coach, to piggyback on that, you mentioned the 8 days that you have after this
Yeah.
weekend, but in reality, it's not. Is that better? Yeah. I mean, the reality is that, you have 8 days to sit down and train, but Ali Ahmed has been called up to the Canada national team. I don't know if Ryan Gold is going to be called up too, but I assume he will be. Yeah. But that is the problem with the international match card on the MLS, right?
That is what can we do? LFC will have the same problem because Boanga will be away, Bogusz will be away, and some other players will be away. So I think the fact of not playing a midweek game and having a week of training, whoever will play a very good energy game. But this is after Minnesota. First we have Minnesota, and we need to do well. And the only way to do is again, really be really honest with each other tomorrow. And again, for me it's not the time to go into the locker room and kick bottles and that, because it's not. Because the guys, I think today were with no fuel, and when you don't have fuel, it's hard to compete in a race, and also again it's this, and so that's what we need to do. We need to recover, and we need to go, and we need to choose the best player for Saturday, because Saturday is a massive game, and winning that game would also leave the last 2 games to just decide at which place in the top 7 we're going to be. because that's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. So that's the big chance, the big reward that we have there. And even if we have like a little bit of down, but again, having players that didn't play today and having more guys, like the idea today of not having Stuart in, so he can play a portion of the game Saturday and start the game against the LAFC. So we will have fresh leg for sure.
And also, I wanted to ask you about Pico. Obviously, sent off today.
Yeah.
But that sending off aside, he's very close to a career season in MLS and in regular season. You've already mentioned how big of a miss he's going to be, but how important has he been to this team, especially when players like Gold are absent?
Yeah, it's been extremely important. Fafa is having a career here. I think this thing that he needs, this assist of goal to trigger him, is a little bit in the back of his mind, and is not that kind of relaxed. I gotta be honest. I think he could have scored today, like when Fry made a save, boom. And maybe sometimes he tries to even too much of doing things now, but it's been really good. And again, let's try to see everything with a very positive attitude. He will rest Saturday, then he's going to 80 and recharge, be in a different environment, the national team, whatever. Boom, to be ready to help us in Salt Lake and in the playoff.
Vanni, one of the things I noticed last 2 or 3 games, you get in positions wide to get crosses in to attack the opposition, but a lot of times I've seen when the opposition, whether it's Toronto or Portland, even Seattle tonight, been able to defend, clear the ball. Is there any kind of particular concern from that aspect of the attack that your players are not getting on the end of those crosses?
Not too much. I think today we didn't attack the first post with how we do it normally, and also again player like Sebastian. I think he was probably destroyed and tired because he could never pass the first man on the crosses, and but on the same time we could have scored immediately with a cross, like Pedro. Well, not immediately. It was Sam had a big chance to tie on a cross, and on another cross that was long, and then Sam played the ball back. We had the biggest chance to tie. Yeah, I think we just need to have more energy. I know that it sounds very basic, but that's the thing. And when your energy normally is 100 and you put 65, it's hard. Thank you.